Okay, so now that we have looked at the shortcomings, let's talk about what we could have done differently, given that we have now many years that have passed, and then we have a lot of good tools, data governance frameworks that are available to help us with projects such as those. So we talked about the strategic shortcomings. I think what we could do today is with a data governance framework like Collibra's, we could provide a POC where we could actually showcase our proof of concept, and we can demonstrate how this framework is going to come about and what are they going to be able to see from that. And I think seeing is believing. I truly think that is important, and that's why having a framework like Collibra is important, because you have dashboards where you can actually show what different users who have roles in data governance can be seeing and how they are going to be interacting with the tool. So I think that's an important aspect. I do not believe that the technology driving the project would work. Even now, this is still a relevant point where you still need business and operations to be in lockstep with technology. So that you need, and in addition to that, you do need a roadmap where you can actually demonstrate what you're going to be achieving in short term and what's your vision for the longer term. And again, a lot of people think data governance is a project, but it's really a culture, and you need people and processes all to play part in it. And when you have a culture, that's when you can actually have a success in implementing not just one project. And I'm saying it's a project, but it's really a culture that needs to be embedded within the institution. So we talk about strategic shortcomings. Moving on to the operational shortcomings. Now that we have tools such as Collibra, you do have workflows, which are very, very important, and they can help you automate and operationalize your data governance projects. And what I mean by operationalizing those projects is you could actually have people who are playing those roles of various roles that come into play. They actually have a workflow where they know how to approve the process and what steps need to be taken, and how the process moves forward. It gets escalated or it gets routed for approval, and you have a process around it, and you don't rely on just having an education on paper and then leaving it to people to remember how that process works, and then besides their day jobs, you expect that they will be following those processes. So it's very hard to operationalize without having a tool, because as we see that if you don't have a tool, people have a tendency to fall back on whatever they're comfortable with, and which without having a automated tool, that could be a problem. And also from an operational perspective, business glossaries that were static before, now you could actually have your business glossaries connected and dynamic, and as things change, you have the ability to add the terms and items that can be included into business glossary. You can relate to those business assets and other data assets, and that way you don't have to worry about leaving something static, because that's one of the problems you face, is that once you have your data model, for example, and you go live, and soon after that the changes start to occur, and if you don't keep your model updated, people will not be looking at the current state. So with a tool like Collibra, you would have the ability to change things, or even have you can have connected environment where you can actually include those changes as they occur. So from an operational point of view, these data governance frameworks provide tremendous value for companies that are looking to implement data governance initiatives. And from a tools perspective, obviously with data governance framework, you have tools that can integrate with data quality tools, so you can actually see the data quality as it, from a pattern perspective, you can identify how the data quality is moving. Is it getting better? Is it getting worse? What are the areas? What are the problem areas? So having a tool definitely helps you identify what the problem areas are, and then you can focus on how to fix those. So defining relationships between business, data, system, elements, all of that actually plays a big role in making a data governance project successful.